Hey, so I found an application. It's a screencast application. It's not a live one that you might be looking for, but it's good for doing tutorials where you're capturing the screen. So you need to like capture the mouse or your pen at the same time and do audio. It can also do a webcam or any video attached to it and record it as an overlay. I'll show you all how to do it. And this video is actually made using that application, so you can kind of get a good idea for it. So I actually emailed it to you. So if you open up your email, I actually emailed it to myself to kind of show you how it goes. I'll walk you through literally every single step. Your mail delivery system, your email might yell at you saying that there might be a virus. I promise you there's not. It is a zip file. Just download it. It'll probably take a few seconds. It's really not that big. All right, so now that it's downloaded, it is in a zipped folder. So we're going to go up one and extract it. You can also hit the extract all button. All right, so now that we're in the extracted one, you're going to see two files. One is the actual application. The other one is the registration key. Let's open up the registration key, just have that available for us. And then we're going to install the encoder. Or at least that's the name of it. So it's actually an old application made by Microsoft. They don't support it anymore, but it works really well. So here we're going to put in the product key. Literally just copy paste it. Hit no for this. And we want to install that. So it's actually going to install two things. One is the actual screen capture program. The other one, it's called an encoder. Basically, when it records your screen with your voice, it's going to do that in a very like massive file with a bunch of data in it, meaning it's not going to compress it in any way. It's not going to be put into this like really nice MP4 video format or anything like that. It's going to be this massive, disgusting thing. So the encoder is there so that once you get that raw video, like your tutorial, you can then encode it into something smaller. So an MP4, .mov, a .avi, any of those video formats, and you have a lot of options in that. So it's kind of nice. All right, now we've installed it. Cool. So let's search for it. Here we have it automatically, but if you don't, you can just type in encoder. That's going to be there. The first thing we're going to open is the screen capture one. So look for the one with the red dot. Click on that. Cool. I'm just going to get rid of everything else. All right. So if you look here at this beautiful thing, there's a few buttons up top, and those are where we're going to go over. The first one is the audio. So if you click on it, it's going to turn red. It's going to add this little thing on the side. When you click on it, right, meaning it is red, that means that it's going to also record audio. So red means record. On the right here, we have a little level slider, right? That's going to be how loud your microphone is going to be. It's going to show little greens up here if it's actually recording. Fortunately for mine right now, the webcam's not hooked up to the laptop I'm doing this on, so it's not going to show anything. Next thing is the webcam. So if you click on it, it's going to show you me. All right, I'm going to cover that up. But basically it means that it's going to record your webcam on your computer while you're doing your tutorial capture as well. And then they're going to be saved as two separate files. And then in the encoder, you can overlap them on top of each other really easily. It's actually quite nice, as you can kind of see me doing it. Hi. All right. So the edit options, this is where we're going to look into it. Obviously, if you don't want the webcam or the audio recorded, you can just turn those, click them again, and they'll go gray, so they won't be captured. All right, so in these settings, here you have the screen, you have a few tabs up top. That's what we're going to be focused on. For the frame rate capture, that's kind of like how smooth the image is going to look. When you're just recording your screen and you're not recording like a video, 15 is fine. So we'll do that, 15. Leave this at the default of 30,000. That's fine. Quality, we're going to go to 100. And capture mouse cursor, we're going to say yes, right? Especially if you want to do the pen function. Otherwise, you're just going to be drawing in midair, kind of a thing. All right, for the camera, this is using the webcam. There are a few settings for it. Not that important right now, but just leave everything at the default. For audio, you just have to pick your microphone. So if you have a dedicated USB microphone like I do, or you're going to use your webcam microphone, it should be selected here. So that's whichever one you're going to pick that one. So like in this case, I would use that microphone. Hotkeys, you can set your own hotkeys, but don't worry about these. These aren't that important. They're for starting and pausing the recording, or just stop recording altogether. Other ones, again, don't care about these. They're just some additional options. If you want to look at them, you can. And then the help, nothing important. So we're going to hit OK. Oh, it's yelling at me about the audio, but that's not important. So for this example one that I'm going to do, I'm not going to capture audio and I'm not going to capture video. Because this video that I'm doing this on is a good example of it. All right, so when you're ready to record, there's also this one. It's called a capture manager. Basically, you can put here where you want the files to go. So if you're working on an external hard drive, right, these raw captures are very, very large. So typically you don't want to store them on your hard drive. You'll probably want to put them on an external or something like that. So you can browse for your external here. All right, so when you want to capture, you're going to get this cool red interface. So you can specify a certain portion of the screen that you want to capture, or you can capture the entire screen, which is kind of cool. Right now, there's nothing for it to look at, so it's going to capture the entire screen. Let me give you something to record. So let's say this guy, if I made it full screen, for example, I'm going to hit the, let's open up for, I don't know, I'm going to start researching cameras. All right, so the auto selection selected this window by itself, so not including the taskbars, right? And you can kind of see what it's auto selecting. Or if I only want to record a small section of it, I can do that as well. So let's say I only want to record this section, right? Then I can do that. Once I've picked my location and I'm kind of ready to go, right? There'll be this section on the bottom, select region. Sorry, it didn't show up before. You can obviously lock the ratio if you want it a certain ratio and expand it like this. You can actually type in the width and the height that you want. And there's a bunch of presets that you can kind of do on your own like that. Once you're ready, you can hit record. It'll do a countdown for you. You have to wait a second, and then you can start doing whatever you need to. So if I scroll here, the green portion shows you what's being recorded. So if I do like Canon cameras, stuff is going to pop up. I can like scroll down. I'll go on the Canon website. Obviously, it's only recording within that small green section. So it's the only portion that you'll be actually recording. If I go into something like YouTube, for example. So you can do whatever recording that you need to do. I know that whenever I watch videos and stuff, if I want to record a little snippet of it, I can put that green part over that snippet. All right, so cool. Oh, another thing you can do is the audio for your recording can be what your speakers are projecting out. So if you're watching a movie, or in this case like a YouTube video, you can have the sound be the recording, aka the actual sound from the YouTube video. So like the computer sounds can be your microphone, like the sound that's being recorded in the video, your tutorial. So that's kind of cool if you want to do that. It's only really useful for recording videos like this. All right. Once you're done, you just hit the stop. And then it'll automatically pull out the capture manager. Let me put away YouTube. All right, so from this point, obviously you can do a bunch of recordings. They're all going to be saved on this spot that you've already specified. Once you're done with the recording, you're going to send it to Encoder. Obviously, if you want to delete it, you can. Let's go send to Encoder. So it's going to open that other application I was talking about when we installed this. This one's just called Expression Encoder. And we have that little video that we had from before. If you want to add additional videos, you can click import. And so let's say you recorded 3 or 4 different video tutorials and you want to string them all together. You can just import each of them separately. You just have to find the file. All right, cool. So remember before I said that you can do the webcam overlay on top of it, right? So what we're going to do here is timeline. Or excuse me. Let me find it. So we're going to go to timeline, add visual overlay, and then you're going to go and look for that webcam video that was recorded separately. I don't have one here to show you, but that's the idea. Once you've found it, you're going to hit open, and it's going to actually put it over here in the corner, which is kind of cool. And it'll be synced to go at the same time. All right, now let's say you made a bunch of mistakes or whatever, so you can actually watch the video here, which is cool. But let's say the beginning of it, right? You don't want it. So let's say the first 8 seconds of it, I want to get rid of it. So you're going to move this orange marker to where you want to cut it. Hit this button, right? It's got a little line down the middle, so that's the cut button. It's going to separate out your video into 2 separate sections here. Let's say this one I want to get rid of, right? The first bit. So I'm going to right click on it and click remove clip. All right, cool. Now it's shortened. Let's say there was a middle bit that I wanted to get rid of, like I coughed or made some mistake or something like that. I'm going to select that, move to where the end of the cough, select that, and right click and remove that middle clip. Cool. So there you go. Now, once you're done kind of editing and putting it all together, we want to encode it, like export it into like a video file that you can put on YouTube or whatever. For that, we're going to look on this right side under the presets, right? You're going to do, Let me expand it out here. Encoding quality balanced. Encoding for devices. Under WMV, we're going to go to Xbox 360 HD 720. I realize that's kind of an annoying name, but bear with me. Click on that and hit apply. Now when you do that, it's going to change a few things. Let's go back into this bottom section now and make sure it did everything we want to do it. All right, so if you scroll down, make sure that frame rate is set to source, which it is. And here, the size mode, make sure instead of custom, it's set also to source. All right, so what happened was when it was at custom with the 720 by 1080, or excuse me, the 1920 by 1080, the 721, the 16 by 9 aspect ratio cropped this, but we want to keep it at the source, so what we recorded at, that aspect ratio. That way you keep all of your video. Then once you're done, you hit encode. So obviously for longer videos, it's going to take a lot longer. And there we go. It's done. If you wanted to specify the output, you could have done so. So in my case, it automatically went to this location. I could have changed it to somewhere else, so like your external hard drive. You can also change the name of it if you want to. One more thing you could have done, which I forgot to mention, here is under audio. So let's say you did a recording on top of it. You can, if the audio was too low, and you can obviously listen to it if you play this back, hitting the play. If the audio was too low, you can, in here, make it louder. So you just scroll this over or scroll it lower, or you just type in a number. Make sure volume leveling is unchecked. Otherwise, the audio will sound really bad. All right, cool. So let's go and find that file. I believe mine was under... so this would be the raw file. If you look at it, it's 53 megabytes. And this is the final one, and it's only 11 megabytes. So it's way smaller. And it's a file format that we can use in a bunch of other things. So if you want to put this in Windows Movie Maker and like make more of a movie out of it, put a bunch of other clips together, you can do that as well. If I open it up, it's a nice little movie. Oh. All right, so hopefully this kind of shows you what this stuff can do. If you have any questions, obviously you can just call me, but hope you liked it. All right, call me later if you have any questions. Bye.